And the news that known federal government makes health insurance compulsory for employers. Akwa Ibom State Governor Udom Emmanuel appeals to PDP aspirants who did not emerge successful in the primary elections to remain calm as their interests would be accommodated. PDP holds senatorial primaries today. On the foreign to US President Joe Biden vows to defend Taiwan military if China invades. In sports, AC Milan wins first Serie A title since 2011. Details coming up shortly. Good afternoon, welcome to the news on Planet Radio 101.1 FM. I am Bright James. We'll begin the news this afternoon with the reports that Akwa Ibom State Governor Udom Emmanuel has appealed to aspirants in the People's Democratic Party (PDP) who did not emerge successful in the State House of Assembly and federal constituency primary elections held in the state to remain calm as their interests would be accommodated. Speaking in an interview with journalist Governor Emmanuel also hinted that the Reconciliation Committee would be set immediately to address the concerns of aggrieved candidates, assuring that there are other opportunities for members of the party. The governor, who did not vote during the primary elections due to the provisions of the 2022 Electoral Act as amended, noted that nobody envisaged a scenario where statutory delegates, including political office holders, were barred by the Act from voting in the primary elections. Governor Emmanuel therefore urged statutory delegates who did not also participate in the election to take it as an act of God. Governor Emmanuel said reports received by him across the state showed that the primary elections conducted across the state were free, fair, and successful, and commended the delegates and party faithful for their peaceful conduct. In Senatorial and Invades and federal constituency and PDP governorship aspirant in Akwa Ibom State, Michael Young, popularly known as Babantan, has urged his supporters to remain calm, stressing that mild drama and intrigues are no exception during electioneering seasons. Therefore, the recent stance by the National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and the release on the use of elected delegates for primaries and national conventions call for no alarm. In a release signed by the federal lawmaker, he noted that the amended Clause 84, Sub-8 of the Electoral Act 2022, which makes provision for statutory delegates to participate in the party's primaries, congresses, and convention, has already been duly sent to President Muhammadu Buhari for assent, noting that the amended section of the Electoral Act shall be assented to by the President before the forthcoming governorship primary. On that note, Young urged all statutory delegates, supporters, and believers of Michael Young to maintain firm and calm, stressing that they are the final lap to their overwhelming victory at the senatorial primary, as they only win with the steadfastness and commitment of his supporters to the project. He therefore reaffirmed that his mission is to emerge as a Akwa Ibom State's PDP standard bearer, adding that he would never negotiate his victory on the altar of compromise and fear, as he would emerge victorious as victory is seized by the grace of God. Now the country's economy. Some residents in the Akwa Ibom State capital have decried the current hardship in the country, appealing to government at all levels to intervene and address the irregularities surrounding the hiking prices of basic commodities. Speaking with Planet News, some of the residents lamented price hike on some basic commodities like curry, rice, and beans. They stressed that the increase in prices of this product have further aggravated the hardship in the country. According to them, the fluctuation in dollar price is also another problem, as it increases international school fees, importation rates, amongst others. With us speaking with our correspondent Florence Essien, they appealed with government to intervene by regulating production costs, fixing electricity tariff, and the security issue in the country. Away from the economy to the national scene, the federal government has mandated all employers and employees in public, private, and informal sectors to have access to health insurance. This development came when the federal government noted that only states with established health insurance schemes and contributory schemes would benefit from the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund. Recall that President Muhammadu Buhari had signed the National Health Insurance Authority Bill 2021 last week. The newly signed law by the President repeals the National Health Insurance Scheme (NHIS) Act 2004. Under the provision of the previous act, they said that we're required to pay 50% counterpart fund to assess the total fund for the PHCPF. Recall that reports last week was that President Muhammadu Buhari's signing of the new act is part of the moves by the federal government to ensure that Nigeria achieves universal health coverage, sustainable development goal by 2030. In politics, the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) has reportedly postponed the screening of the 25 presidential aspirants slated for today, May 23rd. The APC National Publicity Secretary, Barrister Felix Moka, announced the postponement in a statement, although no reason was given for the change in plan. Moka added that a new date for the screening exercise will be communicated to the public shortly, without mentioning any specific date and time. Recall that this is the second time that the APC National Working Committee will shift the date of the presidential screening after it failed to hold last weekend. Now, two games in with a globally recognized Nigerian singer, Ayo, probably known as Whiskey, has announced the completion of his upcoming album, More Love, Less Ego. The Essence Krona made the announcement in his Instagram story, as he also appreciated the contributors in the album. Whiskey told his fans that he made the album with lots of love for them. And that's it on the news for this afternoon.